What's good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Mutanka. Mutanka?
What?
Who the hell is that guy? It's Ferris Muthana. It's your boy. Uh, it's hey man. Football is among us. Preseason week 1 has begun. Well, technically, it happened during the Hall of Fame game, but we don't really count the Hall of
That's
Fame
not
game as
week
pre.
one.
It's
This is
not a
week
week.
one.
It's like week 0. Is that a week? It's like the week. Like week 0 in college football. That's NFL preseason. Week 0 is the Hall of Fame game. Week 1 has begun. A multitude of teams played last night. I believe Pittsburgh and Green Bay played. Niners, Chargers, Texans. I think that's mostly everybody that I remember last night. Today we have Miami and Washington versus, then we have Jets, Tampa, and another. I don't know who the other game is. I forgot. Um, Atlanta Broncos. So without further ado, I'm never alone. I got my main man Caleb with me. Caleb, how are you, bro?
I'm doing good.
Doing good, doing good. It is week 1, and we're gonna go through our predictions for what we think is gonna happen for our teams. We did talk about our training camp um, uh,
No, we didn't.
insights. No, we
Oh,
talked. Well, we talked about
we didn't talk training camp at all.
no. Well, we talked a little bit. We talked about what
Well,
we want to
previewing
see,
it, but what
previewing.
was
Yeah,
it? It hadn't even started yet before when we talked about it.
exactly. So we'll talk about some training camp. We'll talk about some preseason. But without further ado, guys, I want to remind everybody, super chats are enabled. If you want your comment to be guaranteed to be read on air, you hit that super chat. We really appreciate it. The reason we got super chats is because of you man, and I appreciate every last one of you. Without further ado, let's talk about it. Caleb. The Dallas Cowboys big battle in the secondary for cornerback 2. Is it going to be Shavon Revel? Is it going to be Cobie Durant? Who's it going to be? Who's going to be DaRon Bland running me? But also, too, other big news coming out of Big D. You solidified the middle of the park in the defensive side of the ball. You re-signed Quentin Williams to a big money move. Caleb, what is your thoughts on that move?
My thoughts is that it's just really nice when you don't have like long drawn out drama throughout training camp, and you kind of just get the deal done nice and quietly, and there's no talk about it. It just comes out in the news saying, "Hey, we signed our guy."
Mm-hmm.
There's no back and forth with the agent. There's no back and forth with the player. There's just a simple deal done, and we're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
isn't that nice? That's just so nice. It's kind of like we're acting like an actual football team. You know, doing deals when we're supposed to, and not having all this other kind of crap going on. But it's great because we need it. Obviously, we traded him a lot to get him.
Yes.
So it would obviously be a damn shame if we didn't, go ahead and sign him to keep on the team. Um, so yeah, it's gonna solidify our middle. He's one of the best defensive tackles in the game. So yeah, I mean he looks great. There's been no downsides with him so far. So I mean I'm excited. I love this deal.
I'm with you. It's a great deal. The thing is, but here's the thing, right? He was on your team last year with Kenny Clark and all the
Uh,
all the
I'll stop you
razzmatazz.
right
Let
there.
let
But
me.
I'll stop you right there. It's Matt Eberflus, and everything
So
last year is on Matt Eberflus.
no, okay, I can agree with you on that one, right? So we're gonna. You're right because he played. He was tremendous in New York with Robert Saleh, a better defensive coordinator, better defensive coach. So we'll see if he goes back to New York Jets. Quentin Williams. You pointed out to me. I assumed he was still a youngster. Define youngster. I mean, like 25, 26 years old. No, he's almost 30. The
Um,
man's almost 30.
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how it
Well,
goes.
defensive tackles last a long time.
Oh yeah, they do.
I
Yes, they
mean,
do.
we can see Calais Campbell is 40 years old.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's
The man
crazy.
mountain himself.
It's
No,
the-
because like there was an article. Was it by Nick Eatman or was it by Todd Archer where he compiled the top 15 Cowboys contracts for this year. This is what Nick Eatman did right after the deal. Number one, of course, is Dak Prescott. $60 million. Number 2 is Quinn Williams.
Yeah, because it's not a big reason for that is because it's not the top of the market.
Yes.
It's a good deal for both sides, and it was done rather quick and easy.
Yeah. CeeDee Lamb is 3. George Pickens is 4 because of the franchise tag. Tyler Smith is 5. 6 is DaRon Bland at 22.5. Kenny Clark, 21. Sean Gary at 16. Jake Ferguson at 12.5. Now we're getting to some of the good deals that you guys have done. That's good money for Jake Ferguson, 12.5. Terrence Steele is at 11. Well, I don't know if that 11 is worth it. Jalen Thompson, your new signee, 11 as well. Javonte Williams, $8 million. He's 12. Add. Caleb Downs, your rookie at 7.2. So now the rookie is the 13th largest contract on the team. 14 is Brandon Aubrey at $7 million. And 15, guess who it is, Caleb? Who do you think?
Well, we kind of ran out of guys there.
Yeah, you did. It's TJ Bass at 5.7. That's your 15th largest contract on
That's
the
actually a
team.
really good deal.
Yeah.
Considering he plays both guard spots. He plays the center.
He's your rotational piece.
He's our best backup.
Yeah, so shout out to Nick Eatman for that. I really appreciate that. But yeah, man, it was a quick and easy. But also too, like, it just depends on the agent. Nicole Lynn, she gets her people paid quietly and swiftly. Jalen Hurts, paid. Quentin Williams, paid. She gets her guys paid quickly and swiftly with no muss, no fuss, no nothing. Quentin Williams is her first ever big money signing. She became this one. Everyone found out who she was. She was actually an agent prior to that. She it was like journeymen, rotational players. No one cared who she was. She convinced Quentin Williams, let me be your agent going into this draft. She became the first ever female agent to ever represent a top 3 NFL pick ever. And she has parlayed it into just money, big money for all her clients. She is very good at it. She went from agent under Lil Wayne to now being the director of NFL representation at the Clutch Agency, which is run by Rich Paul and LeBron James. So shout out to Nicole Lynn. Big ups to you. Big ups to you. But we gotta keep talking about Caleb. So Shavon Revel, Cobie Durant, big cornerback 2, like I brought it up, battle for you guys. What do you think is gonna happen? Is it the man, the free agent, or is it the man you drafted? Where are we going, Caleb? Where do you think?
Well,
What's going on in training
I
camp?
think it's definitely going to be the free agent to start.
Okay.
Why not keep giving Shavon Revel the confidence, building up his confidence, and not just his play, but also his knee, and work through it, and get better and keep building on his skills and keep getting better and better until you eventually make that switch, and he thinks he feels that he's ready to go full go, and he feels like his old stuff, because he's looking way different than he did last year. Obviously, he didn't practice much in training camp, but he looks much improved from what he did show at the end of the year. During these practices, he's looking great. I mean, he's having pass breakups. During the joint practice, he had a pass breakup on Puka Nacua. So he's been looking really good throughout camp. But Cobie Durant has been looking good too. Like, it's not like he's like not doing anything. He's doing enough to be the starter for the beginning of the season, and eventually I think once Shavon Revel gets up to speed, then I think they'll put him in.
Mm-hmm. Any other big battles coming into training camp?
Yeah.
The linebacker position. Where are we going with that?
We need massive help there.
Yeah.
Need big help on the linebacker position, because you listen to a lot of the podcasts and a lot of people tweeting out stuff, and so you kind of get a general knowledge of like who's doing good and who's doing bad about the people that people are talking about over and over.
Hmm.
You're saying, okay, that probably guy is doing good. The name I haven't heard at all, whether he's doing good or bad, so I guess it's not like a negative either, but it's not a positive, is D Winters. Haven't heard a thing about him. So that must mean he's just consistently just not making any bad plays, but also not standing out either. So that's concerning because that's guy we really need to show to really be a standout. Since he,
How about the edge the linebacker convert that was drafted for Christian Parker, Jay Barham? Has
he
anything?
has been looking good. Everybody's talking about a lot about him. I've heard tons about how well first of how he looks. I mean he looks massive. People talk about, oh, that guy looks like a linebacker. This is what they're talking about when they say that, because this dude looks like a goddamn linebacker. He's a pretty big guy.
Hmm.
So yeah, he's definitely been standing out. He's had an injury. I think it was like a groin or something, which is concerning. Going into the season, but before that, he was looking awesome. He was looking everything that they thought of him when they drafted him. He was stepping up. That was a standout guy on the linebacker, and pushing for a starting spot.
Hmm. Hmm. On the offensive side, nothing of note, right? Because everyone is just kind
Well,
of
there
just
actually is something to know.
okay.
The biggest battle I talked about is the left tackle. It seems like there isn't a battle at all, and it's not really because Guyton's like this all-world, tackle right now, or he's playing like so great he's just beating out everybody else. It's just that none of the other guys in the battle are really doing anything at all to
Hmm.
push for that starting spot. Nate Thomas is not looking that great. Maybe there's Drew Shelton. So they're not really pushing Guyton for his spot, and Guyton's not, doing terrible. Where it's like he's playing himself out of the position.
Yeah, it's kind of like a best of the worst type thing, right? Like who can we survive with? And that's good. That's going to be a problem because it's just bad bookends really force everything, right? Because bad bookends, squeeze in, makes the quarterback roll up, and then you just kind of fall into the defensive tackles if they're proper defensive tackles. So that is a problem
And
to
it's a problem on
watch.
the other side because Terrence Steele having a lot. He had a lot of issues in the Rams joint practice.
Hmm.
He was experiencing. They were getting up on him. They were getting by him, and he. I don't even think he was going. He wasn't. He wasn't going against Miles Garrett
Hmm.
at the
Byron
time.
Young, the
Yeah,
rotational pieces.
yeah. So and
He's
he was
getting
having a lot
older.
of
He's
trouble.
getting older, man. He's getting older.
He's always, we know what to expect from him. We expect, just average pass blocking, good run
Hmm.
blocking. But if it drops any below that average, then it's gonna look pretty bad. And that's a scary thing to be concerned about. If he just stays at average, then I don't have really that much concern because he was average, he's been average, and we still light up the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, any other news coming out? What do you think is going to
Yeah,
happen in the preseason? Oh,
I
good.
want to talk more about that Rams joint practice.
Yes, hit me.
Um, Last year when we had that joint practice, it looked horrible. I mean, we got our asses handed to us in
Hmm.
pretty much all facets. The defense completely got their ass handed to them, um, and the offense, wasn't looking that great either. Um, but it was definitely that defense that was concerning part last year, and that was a big indicator of what was to come.
Hmm.
Um, this year is the total opposite. We look great. We kicked their ass in that practice, both on defense and offense. The one guy who stood out the most was a guy I'd never even heard of, and Justin Barrett. Dude got like 3 interceptions. Um, he was all over
On
the place.
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, it was Matthew Stafford.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
He was making stops. he was all over the place. Like, I had no idea who this guy was. Just popped out of nowhere, looking great. The defense was getting pass rush as Raku was getting there. Gary was getting to the quarterback. It looked great. It looked totally different than it did last year. And then the offense, Dak was getting it. George Pickens was, making amazing catches. So was Lamb. Even Brevin Spanford had a couple touchdowns when they were doing the red zone. So we were looking good. We were looking really good. And a thing that also happened, that was a big talking point, is that they were running after practice, and the Rams guys were saying, "Hell no, we're not doing that. We don't want to run after practice with y'all." And there's different takes on it. People say, "Oh, it's just for show," or they're doing too much or whatever. But
the whole team or just the defense?
The whole team.
Okay.
And Brian Schottenheimer says, it was led by the players. The players decided, the coaches didn't even know that was going to happen. Maybe the Rams don't need that. Obviously the Rams proved that they're doing things. They're doing things just fine.
Correct. Yeah, I think the Rams are doing stuff correctly.
And I'm not saying this has to be something that every team has to do or anything, but I think it's very important for the Dallas Cowboys, and it's very important for us.
I think you're right.
Because what I've been taught, what did we go through a whole series of? We went through a whole series of why we're not
lack of accountability.
Exactly, lack of accountability.
Personal lack of accountability, even team as well, and personal leadership, eroding
lack of leadership.
Lack of leadership.
That's what I'm saying. This is why that is important, because we've lacked those things throughout all these different teams. And if we're finally going to start doing things differently, this is a great step to make in doing that, and to showing that accountability and that leadership. And even because after the interviews with like DeMarcus Lawrence, when he was after the 2023 playoff game against the Packers, he said, we were tired going into that playoff game. We were fatigued. We weren't prepared. Well, how do you get, more endurance? You do this. You do, sprints after practice. You build it up so you're not tired at the end of the season. You're not getting beat up at the end of the season. This is what counts. That's why it's so significant to me, because this is what, I've been wanting, because like I said, I've called the other teams I've had soft, unaccountable, undisciplined. And if they're showing that, more, that's way different than what I've seen in the past.
I'm with you, man, because I remember I was watching the documentary 30 for 30, the U Part 2, right? And people were like, how did Miami win that second national 2001? Literally, when Butch Davis left, they said, we want Larry Coker to be our head coach. And they're like, why? Because he was like, because he's going to stay out of our way. Because we're going to win a national. The players, these are 21-year-olds, Caleb, 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds. We're talking about like Ed Reed, them, like when they were young. They said to the administration, he's going to stay out of our way because we know how to operate. We know how to operate this. Larry Coker did not run practice in 2001. Larry Coker didn't do very much in 2001. He just he just drove the Ferrari without crashing it. Because the players held the standard. The players held the standard. And if Brian Schottenheimer, I'm not gonna, he doesn't have a reputation of being a liar, so I'm gonna take him at his word. If he said that we had nothing to do with it, coaches didn't say anything, and it was all player driven, and you want to create more endurance, because here's the thing, right? You're gonna get tired, but your body's gonna learn how to operate at a high level at being tired more than your opponent. You know what I mean? Like that's how it is. When they're tired and you're tired, you're going to be better at them during the tiredness, in a sense. So this is a good sign for them. But here's the thing, Caleb, with the Dallas Cowboys. It happened last year when you got Quentin Williams, or 2 years ago when you got Quentin Williams. Everything looks good for a couple of weeks. looks nice. You stopped the run for a couple of weeks.
We also played the Raiders and
Yeah, exactly. You also played the Raiders and some bad teams. But then the wheels fall off the wagon. How do you keep it consistent? That's the key to everything with them. Consistency. It's all fun and games, oh yeah, for 3 weeks the players are locked in. They were doing all this good stuff. But how about now 6 weeks from now? Week 6, week 7, week 8.
And when Stephen Jones was talking about the contract with Quentin Williams, he kind of took that shot at Michael Parsons, saying it's much. He was talking about how much of a leader Quentin Williams is, and we haven't had that in the past. That was pretty much a direct shot at Michael Parsons, saying
all right, buddy.
He was not a leader.
Okay. Even though you guys didn't make the playoffs the first year you didn't have him. Okay. That's the thing again. That's the thing, dog. That's just lack of leadership. Why did you even have to say that? You could just it was a great. Why you got to throw in like?
Yeah, you can talk about Quentin Williams' leadership without.
Yeah, like why did you have to add that?
It's true. Honestly, he wasn't a leader. I mean, that's just true. But I don't think you had to say it.
Then who were the leaders on the defense then?
There wasn't. That's the problem. That's why we weren't winning.
Okay.
There wasn't a leader.
Green Bay said he was a big leader when he was there with them.
Well, guess what? He stopped doing his podcast too.
Yeah, well, he tore his ACL, so I think he has more important things to worry about.
I mean, even before the season, he stopped doing his podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Someone probably asked him, and he probably listened. Y'all could have asked him.
Malik Hooker kind of talked about him doing a podcast. Say, hey, that the rest of the guys don't like it.
No, then he's kind of an asshole then.
Well, that's what he said. That's what I'm saying. Even though it's true that he was not a leader, you don't have to say it. Or that even mattered because you don't really pay him to be the leader of the defense. You pay him to make sacks, which he did. Which he did, yes.
Yes, which he did. So he did what you asked him to do. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing too, man. I think people don't understand this, man. Just because you're the best player on the team, don't mean you're the best leader. Don't mean you're the best, the person to lead. Like this is my biggest issue with quarterbacks, right? In the NFL ecosystem, right, Caleb? Where they just be like, oh, you're the quarterback, be the leader. Some of these quarterbacks suck at being leaders. They're not good leaders. They've never been good leaders. But we tell them, you're the leader. You're the most important. Yeah, you're important and all. That's cool. But guess what? Sam Darnold showed everybody. The Seattle Seahawks showed everybody last year.
That's a good point. That is a great
example.
The
Seattle Seahawks showed everybody last year that you just need a quarterback who follows direction. A game manager. Clint Kubiak just told Sam Darnold, follow my direction, follow what I said. And what's Sam Darnold now, Caleb?
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, but what is he?
A Super Bowl champion.
That's what I'm talking about. He's a Super Bowl champion. But can you say, is he a better quarterback than Josh Allen?
Oh, no.
Is he a better quarterback than Joe Burrow?
No.
Is he a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson?
No. But he got a ring.
Who got a ring? That's the thing. Who got the ring? Who got the ring? I'm not saying Sam Darnold's not a leader in Seattle. He probably is.
Probably is.
But he's not the main one.
Probably not.
Every other team.
Because he probably can't possibly be since he just got there.
Exactly. Because he literally just got there. That's true. Same thing.
Yes.
Dak Prescott don't got one either.
We all know that. That's
Yes,
we're talking about the top guys, okay?
I'm talking about the guys better than Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? Of course, why would I talk about him? But that's what I'm telling you, right? He just got there, right? But here's the thing too, Caleb. That's what they do with rookies. Like, oh, you just got there. You need to become the leader. Sam Darnold showed up. He wasn't the leader. He just was a part of the crew. He probably became a leader. But right out the gate, the leaders were very clearly on the defensive side of the ball. Very clearly. And then on offense, it was probably Kenneth Walker and JSN. And Sam Darnold he became probably one of the leaders, but he wasn't the main guy. Every team forces quarterbacks to be the main leader. You got to figure out, some of these dudes suck. They just stink. at being leaders. They just stink at it. They're not good. But if you tell the quarterback, this is your role, that's fine. Be your role. Exactly, bro. Leonard Williams, definitely a leader. Julian Love, definitely a leader. Unfortunately, both former New York Giants, and it very hurts. Hurts, I say. All the
thinking of Hurts. What do you think of Jalen Hurts as a leader? I mean, he did win a championship, but did he handle the AJ Brown situation great?
I think he did as best as he could because A.J. Brown made it very clear he doesn't want to be there anymore. He made it very clear that I don't give a shit that we're winning. I only have 70 yards. Because they were winning. And he was still complaining.
Yeah.
So as Jalen Hurts, as a leader, did the best he could do. What can you say to that, Caleb? Oh, I'm sorry that we're winning.
But they won despite it,
Exactly, they won despite it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry that we're winning, and I'm sorry that you only get 70 yards. Oh, but we're winning. Oh, I don't care, really. A.J. Brown made it very clear, I don't care. He made it very clear. That's why he was like, get me out of here. And he took shots at Jalen Hurts first week in New England. Oh, the way Drake May throws the ball. Look at him. I've never seen that. All right, bro. Okay.
Sound like Stephen Jones.
Exactly. But no, because here's the thing too. Like I've seen Jalen Hurts throw perfect spirals down the field. Let's not act like he's never done it. Remember the deep shot in the Super Bowl?
The video that they put on their social media didn't look great.
Yeah. Well, that was more of a Quinyon Mitchell highlight than anything else.
Was it? It was more of a he can't throw in the middle of the field.
Well, you know what? Okay, that's a good point. But exactly, Jay, another Super Bowl champion who listened to the OC. What are the years Jalen Hurts played well? The 2 years he was with Shane Steichen. Steichen leaves. Head coaching job. Makes sense. Brian Johnson, his next year. Team does not look good. They fire Brian Johnson. Who do they bring in after Brian Johnson? Kellen Moore. They ran the ball, play action. Like for every quarterback, play action is everyone's best friend.
Hard. They had Saquon Barkley.
No, exactly. But play action is everybody's best friend. Every quarterback loves play action, and he had a great offensive line. Don't blame him because your GM stinks. Is that Jalen Hurts' fault that your GM stinks? No.
I mean, that was your GM that let him go.
No, exactly. Our GM stinks. I'm not going to blame Jalen Hurts because his GM is better than everybody else's. It's his GM that made sure the offensive line's good, that got him some weapons, that got him sick. I'm not going to blame him for that. You still gotta play good, and you still gotta follow the offense. They ran the ball, play action. That's how they won. The deep shot to Devontae Smith was off of play action, and it was a perfectly placed ball because Smith, the Chiefs DB was all over Devontae Smith. And he still had to complete the pass. And it was a great touchdown. So I'm not gonna I think he was a tremendous leader.
Want to get to some of these questions?
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's do some of these questions. Let's look at it. We got Jay. No, that's what we talked about that. Hold up. Let me chop that up. All right. Ryan Christian, do you think Dart will be like Darnold in New York and know his role, or does he need to be a leader? They're making him a leader. We'll see how it operates. We'll see how it is. I think QBs for the first couple of years, need to shut the hell up and learn. Either they become the leader or they just shut the hell up and do nothing and just play quarterback. You find out what they are. Either they shut the hell up and just be a part of the team, or they shut the hell up and learn and then become the leader year 2 and 3. Then you'll know if you have their guy. Ryan Christensen has a Dallas Cowboy question. My biggest question with Dallas, who is receiver 1, receiver 2? Sounds like Pickens doesn't want to be receiver 2. Who do you think will be the alpha dog at receiver, Caleb?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, because CD lines up everywhere.
Yes.
Pickett kind of stays on the outside.
He's an outside
So
guy, yeah.
it depends what you want to call a 1 or a 2. It's just kind of where they're put at. I don't know. I mean, the guy that's open is going to get the ball. I mean, who I think is the better receiver, I think CeeDee Lamb's the better receiver. I think he runs better routes. I think he's better after the catch, and I think he gets open more. That's not saying just because George Pickens doesn't get open doesn't mean he doesn't catch the ball, because he makes spectacular catches. He has just his body, and he goes up for the ball and it snatches the ball, makes spectacular catches.
Are we sure CeeDee Lamb got better hands? You sure
Um,
about that?
yes, I know he has drops.
I'm just saying, man. Well, because with great receivers, Caleb, like I tell it all the time, right?
I
At the end
think,
of the day, we're nitpicking here,
yeah, I know
and
I know he has the drops, but it just doesn't. It's not like he like can't catch. It's more like he just has like lapses.
yeah, that one game where he had like 4 or 5 drops.
Yeah, yeah.
He could have had like almost
But that's what I'm
290
saying.
yards.
In that game, he still had over 100 yards.
Yeah, he did. He did. All right. Let's move on to the other team in blue, the New York Giants. The big stories coming out of New York Giants camp is who the hell is going to play cornerback? And I'm not talking about cornerback 2. I'm talking about cornerback, period. Greg Newsome II, he's hurt. Paulson Adebo, he's hurt. Tay Banks stunk last year. Drew Phillips, not very good, and he's hurt. Colton Hood, rookie. So you got Tay Banks and a rookie healthy, while the other guys either are hurt or have stunk and you don't really believe in them. So we'll find out. Wide receiver, another big question. I can't keep relying on Darius Slayton to show up. Done. He was a 4th round pick for a reason. Everyone knew he was fast. Burner. Very, very can go from point A to point B very quickly. What's the one thing, Caleb, wide receivers need to have?
I mean, they need to have hands.
He can't catch. It's year 7. Caleb, I keep telling you this all the time, Caleb. I keep telling everybody all this all the time. There was a graphic. The season's already over. You know how you know your season's already over? Jonathan Vilmo's calling your games on Fox. That's how you know your season's already over.
Well, I think that just means your team's not popular.
Exactly. Your team stinks, and later in the season
we stink and we still get the top guy.
Well, no, because you were in the running to make a playoff thing or whatever.
No, I mean, even with the years where we stink, we still get the top guys.
Yeah, either you stink or you're not popular. One or the other. He literally drops a ball in that game, and Fox so quick. Their graphics team literally had that graphic loaded up already because it was like half a millisecond, Caleb. It says Darius Slayton, 2nd highest drop percentage in the NFL. They had the graphic ready. The graphic was up on the screen in half a second. Like straight up, like boom. You can't be a receiver and you have over 15% drop percentage. You can't be a receiver 1 or even a receiver 2. You can't even be a receiver 3 nowadays with that. You just can't. He has been receiver 1 because this regime stinks at their job. They suck. David Gettleman decided to give Kenny Galladay $80 million.
Money well spent.
Money well spent. Then David Gettleman said, why would I ever draft a receiver? Why would I do that? That's dumb. Then Joe Shane says, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to draft a receiver. But I'm going to draft a 5'7" guy who's a slot man instead of George Pickens. I'm a big fan of Wan'Dale Robinson. He had over 100 catches in the SEC with his quarterback being Will Levis. That's impressive. I was impressed by that. But he's also 5'7", 5'8". You know what? I'm disrespecting the man. He's 5'8", okay? But you still need a big boundary wide receiver. So you're dealing with Darius Slayton. And every time Caleb, he drops a ball or he doesn't make a play, he lingers on the field like, oh my God, I'm hurt. Like, literally, like, no, you're not, dude. You're just embarrassed because you dropped another ball. He does this all the time, bro. Caleb, he does this all the time. Ball goes to him. He gets hit a little. He falls to the ground. He drops the ball. Oh, my God, someone come and get me. Oh, my God. You're not hurt. You stink. There's a difference. You're not hurt. You just stink. And you're telling me I have to bank my life on a 33-year-old man named Odell Beckham Jr. with no knees to be a boundary receiver. Because you got Calvin Austin and Darnell Mooney for slot purposes. But on the boundary, it's a newly, probably healthy Malik Neighbors, hopefully, question mark, a man who can't catch, and a 33-year-old with no knees. How are these people still employed?
Well,
how is Joe Shane still employed?
That's your guy.
No, he's not. I want him fired. I want him fired last month. I wanted him fired last year. I don't understand why John Harbaugh even said keep him. And funny enough, too, John Harbaugh don't know what the hell an offensive player is either. Look at all the offensive players he drafted in Baltimore, Caleb. You know how many he drafted?
How many?
0. He didn't draft any of them. He don't know what an offensive player is if it slapped him in his face. Pat Ricard is going to come on First Take and talk to Peter Schrager, and he says, yeah, man, it's a little different here. Man, you know, either we're at the country club, but we're going to get nasty with it. Man, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up, dog. Because last time this happened, Caleb, Giants feeling themselves coming off of an offseason of possible positivity was the year they beat the Minnesota Vikings in that playoff game. They came in the very next year all high and mighty, all positive, like, look at us, we gonna cook, yeah, look at us. They get Sunday Night Football to open up the season against the Dallas Cowboys, just like this year. And you know what the Dallas Cowboys did to them? They whoop their ass. 40-0 in the rain. And I guarantee you, Daniel Jones probably cried in the rain. We just didn't know he was crying because the rain was there. So I'm done hearing what is the positivity of this team and you know the way this team is. Defense can only take you so far. Defense, all I'm hearing is greatness. Denard Wilson got them locked in. Arvell Reese is a cyborg.
Well, apparently, yeah, you guys have to get a whole lot of pass rush, and that pass rush better be going, because if it's not, then you guys are going to get cooked in the back end.
Yeah. So when they talk about the defense in positive tones, they're talking about linebackers in. They ain't talking about the DBs. They're talking about linebackers in. That's what they're talking about. Arvell Reese, because here's the thing too is our run defense is horrible. Because here's the thing is, because our defensive tackles were bad and our linebackers weren't very good either.
You kind of got rid of your best defensive tackle. So.
Well, he was a nose tackle, so now we did. Yeah, we should have kept him. I think our run defense would have been amazing this year if we kept him.
Would you rather have him or that pick was the offensive lineman, right?
That was CC Mauigoa, yeah.
What would you rather have?
I would have had him because he's we know what he is. He's one of the best defense tackles in the league, best nose tackle in NFL history. We know that. We don't know what the hell CC Mauigoa is. We hope he's going to be a great guard. We hope. It's what the Rams do, Caleb. You know, we could draft this guy and hope he becomes good, or I could trade these 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I can draft this dude and hope he's good.
I definitely like that approach a lot better.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't take that long to, you know, if you don't make it, if you don't accomplish what you know, ultimately winning the Super Bowl, it doesn't take you that long to rebuild. At
No,
least it didn't take that long for them.
no. Because here's the thing too, Kev, that people don't talk about this, right? You know, their GM Les Snead has been their GM for like I think like over 20 years or something. You know, he sends those first round picks, those second round picks away, right? You're like, oh, what's he gonna do? Then he goes in that draft that he doesn't have a second, a third, or a first round pick in, right? And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna draft Puka Nacua in the 5th. I'm gonna draft Kobe Turner in the 4th. I'm gonna
And I think
draft
that happens
Byron
because they don't
Young.
have to focus on the first and the second and the third. They focus on
Yes,
their
the
fifth
gem
and sixth
areas.
instead of.
But here's the thing too, Caleb. Here's the
That's
thing
where all the
that
focus goes to.
no, but here's the thing too, Caleb, that people don't talk about the Rams, right? They find no named linebackers to be their starters. For 2 years, their starting middle linebacker was Justin Hollins. No one's gonna confuse Justin Hollins for Fred Warner, or name another great middle. Damn, how many great middle linebackers are in the NFL? I don't think there's a lot.
I mean, they have one. They have Nate Landman.
See, but here's the thing about Nate Landman, Caleb. He was a backup in Seattle. He was a backup in Seattle. How did you know about that, man? He was a backup and a backup in Seattle. Sometimes he played special teams. How'd you find that dude out? How did you find him? Because Leslie knows, like, oh, that guy's good. Finds random no-name linebackers to replace random no-name linebackers.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it worked.
Warner, Bond,
Warner Bond.
and Roquan.
Okay, yeah, Roquan.
That's about it.
Yeah.
That's what I can think of.
Yeah. The guy from Chicago, the one they kept over Tremaine Edmonds, something Edwards, TJ Edwards. But now, you start thinking about, like, there's not a lot of linebackers like that anymore. Remember? Like, they're
No.
gone. They're gone. You know? What up, Stretch? Hit that like, hit that subscribe, guys. If you haven't already, super chats are enabled. If you want to throw in some extra support, we really appreciate it. Big news coming out this time around. You know, we're consolidating our Patreons and our Ko-Fis into a one-stop shop on Fourth Wall, which is connected to our website. So if you want to join up, it's 2 tiers, 3 and 7. 3, you just want to show some support. $7 gets you everything. You just go to our website, letsgetreadynetwork.com. Be on or lgrn.online. That's what it is. I apologize. Let me double check. Or Adelia's in the chat to help me out here, because if I messed it up, Adelia, please, I am so sorry. It's lgrn.online, guys. lgrn.online. That's it is. If you want to be on the lookout for that. But yeah. So we'll see. You know, y'all can talk about how y'all love Arvell Reese this, Arvell Reese that. That's cool and all. But we need enough of the talk with the New York Giants. Enough of the talk. I need to see results on the field. That's what I need to see. I'm done talking. I'm done listening. I'm done of that. I need you.
Speaking of that, you want to preview the upcoming game?
Yes, tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. New York Giants against. What the hell are New York Giants against? Sorry. My apologies.
I don't know. Somebody's backups.
Somebody's backups. Our backups are somebody's backups. We got the Vikings tomorrow, and then the Cowboys tomorrow at night at 5 p.m. Cowboys, Seahawks, Giants, Vikings in the morning. I think the starters are going to play a series or two for the Giants. We need to learn this offense. We need to create some cohesion, some chemistry. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that. Malik Nabers is probably not going to play. Neither is Andrew Thomas because of injury history and injury concerns. Because you want to see. But I think CeCe Mauigoa is going to play. Marcus Bowe, John Runyon possibly. You know what I mean? Oh, we got a super chat in the building.
Thank you.
Thank you to Kwame. He says Kwame says, Caleb, this is for you, big dog. It says, what excuses will they have for Dak this year?
Well, I mean, if it's on him why we're not losing, why we are losing, well, then there is no excuses. But if our defense plays like they did last year, which was historically bad, then that's the blame. He wasn't the blame last year. We lost because our defense could not stop anybody. We were a top 5 offense. We put up a ton of points. We put up a ton of offense, total offense. I mean, we lost because the defense was historically bad. It wasn't just regular bad. Like if we were just regular old bad, we would have won more games.
Yes.
Well, we were historically bad. And we were just a trash defense like I've never seen before. Um,
Yes, you
so
have.
yeah, if we get better on that side of the
Dallas
ball,
Cowboys,
and
like what, 5 years ago, are just as bad with Mike Smith or Mike
we were
Nolan.
worse. We were worse
Oh my
last year
God.
than
You guys are,
that year.
oh my
Yeah,
God. You guys
that
are,
was historically bad, and yet we were historically worse than that year. Um,
but Kwame, but Lamar hasn't had bad defenses that much.
no, he's had a but it wasn't a bad defense. We were historically bad. That's what I'm saying. We weren't just regular bad. We were historically bad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was just awful. I mean, it was utterly. We had utterly dreadful.
So is that what you're looking for in this preseason? How the defense sets up scheme
Yes,
wise? But the problem is, Caleb, in
they're not
preseason,
really
how,
scheming out.
yeah, what are you
But
gonna
it's
see?
just, I guess, I mean, just well, I mean, they're in base defense, so that's
Yeah.
something to watch because we're a totally different base defense than we were before.
Yes. Yes,
Considering
you
we're
are.
3-4. So if they're going to play mostly base defense, then I would like to see how that looks. I mean, we're not going to have our starters in there, but at least we get to see a preview of what at least that the base defense looks like and how he's utilizing the scheme. But yeah, just going back to Dak. Yeah, I mean, if it's his fault, then there is no excuse.
Yeah. A couple of those playoff games were definitely the offense's fault for not showing up.
Yeah, I mean, I've always like I put blame when he's to blame. Like I put blame on the 49ers games. Both
Yes.
those games were on Dak. The other ones, I think he played well. I'm not going to put it on
Packers
Dak.
game.
I
Packers
think
game was
they.
bad.
Well, I put that on the coaches most for not getting
Well,
them
the entire
prepared.
team did. Well, the
That's
entire
what I'm
team didn't
saying.
show up.
That's what I'm
The
saying. I
entire
put it
team
on the
didn't show up.
coaches. I
Yeah.
put it on the coaches because they weren't preparing the entire team. Um, so yeah, but a lot of the other games that he played well. He had one of his best game. The best game of his career was in a playoff game. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's played well. And sometimes the rest of the team doesn't show up either. And just all the distractions in the organization itself is
Yes.
just it's hard to overcome.
Yeah. Me. I want to see. Who's out there, man. I think Odell. Is reported that Odell will definitely be playing. He'll definitely be playing. And then Darius Slayton better be out there. No one should be above reproach. The only people, Caleb, that I'm okay with not playing. The only people, actually the only person, is Andrew Thomas. Everyone else should be playing. You need to learn this offense. Get a series in. Getting some groove. Find, what I mean? Get some connection. Andrew Thomas, he ain't got to be out there. He ain't go, what does Andrew Thomas need to do? You know what I mean? Like, he good. Him as well as because, because last year he had the Liz Frank injury, so they slow played him in preseason and the offseason. This year he's fully healthy. But you still want to be cautious with Andrew Thomas. It's top 5 and it's a top 5 left tackle in the game. You know what I mean? I think he's one of the best left tackles in the game. Probably, you can keep your Trent Williamses, your Penei Sewells. I'm cool with that. Probably your Tristan Wirfs. But with me, I think he's better than Tristan Wirfs because unlike Tristan Wirfs, he's been playing left tackle since day one. Tristan Wirfs played right tackle. Andrew Thomas played left tackle since day one. Yeah, I expect, but also, Brian Flores don't like us. Justifiably so. Justifiably so. I'm not disagreeing for not like I agree with you, Brian. I would hate someone if they did me dirty like that forever. So is he gonna take that game seriously? Probably not. But if he lets a blitz out and tries to kill someone, I wouldn't I would expect that. So I fully understand. Yeah, so just what the offense is. What's Brian Callahan? What's Matt Nagy doing? What are they doing? How are the coaches communicating? Who's on the sideline? Who's in the booth? Are both coordinators on the sideline? Or are both coordinators in the booth? Or is it 1-1? How's the communication? You know what I mean? Mr. Leader of Men, how is he leading? It's preseason. You got to get the kinks out. That's what I'm seeing. We lose. I don't care. We win. I don't care. I'm watching Arvell Reese. How he drops back. How he flips his hips. How he gets depth. You know what I mean? How does he work with Tremaine Edmonds and how does he work with Micah McFadden? Because those three are the three linebackers that are ours. Is Abdul Carter, because he's gonna start, the dip. Does he have the dip? Can he transfer from speed to power? Is he a little bit more stronger? How's it gonna be? So we'll see about that. But before we go, that's all I have for
the game.
But the Dallas Cowboys against the Seahawks. What are you looking for?
Well,
I thought we talked about it. I thought we talked about it.
Well, I mean, we talked about the defense a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what do you expect the offense to do?
Well, we see we got that who's going to be the backup quarterback for one.
Yes.
That's a pretty important thing. Hopefully, one of the guys plays well. And then who's going to win that last receiver spot? There's a lot of guys kind of vying for that position. There's Trayshawn Holden, MVS. I forgot. Mingo's still there. So there's a lot of different guys who can win that spot. Obviously, I want one of the tight ends to step up, whether it's Brevin Spann-Ford or Luke Schoonmaker or the new guy Michael Trigg. So look for who's going to be who's the second tight end. We still don't know that. Who's going to be the backup running back? Still don't know that. Mm-hmm. Whether it's going to be Jaden Blue, Phil Maffa, Malik Davis, don't know. We just brought in a guy, Jashawn Corbin from the UFL. Or we've had some good history of picking up guys from the UFL.
Former New York Giant, Jashawn Corbin.
Definitely looking forward to that. And this guy, Justin Barrett just appeared out of nowhere. So I'll be looking for him to see if he can actually make plays in the game. And, we're not playing any starters. So honestly, the joint practice was more of a preseason game than this preseason game. It was.
So Caleb, question, Michael Trigg.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
He hasn't shown up as much.
Is he showing you why he went on draft?
I just think that, but I think that's kind of typical for rookie tight ends. I mean, they take a little longer to get going.
Because like they're linemen and pass catchers, so they're learning a lot. They're learning protections and they're learning routes.
Especially if a guy didn't really do a lot of blocking, was mostly like receiver, or vice versa. So yeah, I mean, it hasn't been anything spectacular out there. It's not like he's been trash either. Mm-hmm. It's just an adjustment. That's why it's like Luke Schoonmaker is still there. Like, how is this guy still there? He's in the crap, but he's still there because there's really nobody else doing better than him.
Yep. There was this rumor I want to talk about. I also want to talk about the Jaden Daniels thing, Caleb. I want to talk about that. We'll end it, because I want to create a segment at the end called Around the NFC East, and we just we talk about our
I don't know if you wanted to answer who's winning. I mean, they did have predictions of the NFC East.
It's first year. Last year was the first year ever we had a back-to-back champion.
I think we're gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna have funny enough, it was the Eagles as well, which kind of pissed me off. Do I want to drink my Kool-Aid? No.
You know what happened last time when you did
that? I'm gonna go Dallas.
Of course, I'm going the Cowboys.
Let's go Dallas.
I think it's for number 2. It's gonna be a fight. I mean, that's if you guys are good. I don't expect you to be good. It's kind of the different because I don't know because you guys have so much new stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't make a definitive statement.
I don't know either.
I expect you to be bad, but I wouldn't be surprised if you were, kind of pretty good.
We should have had like 7-8 wins last year with
So
that shit
it
team.
wouldn't shock me either way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I could see you like vying for number 2 with the Eagles, or I could see you, being your crappy Giant self.
Yeah. Because funny enough, last year in every single game, we were in every single game against the NFC East. The shootout against Dallas in week 2. We pummeled Philly on Thursday night. We got screwed over in Philly multiple times. We didn't look good against Washington, which threw me off. But we looked good against, in some aspects, looked better against you two than Washington.
Well,
Even though it was just, but Washington, we lost to Washington week 1 with Russell Wilson, and we could have still won that game, which is hilarious. But we'll see. We'll see how it is.
Yeah. He says, "Will New York clear Washington?"
I think it's possible because last year,
probably because I just don't think they're going to be good.
yeah, because like new
They're
coordinator.
an old team who just lost their left tackle.
Yes.
So that's a big thing.
New
With
offensive
Jaden
coordinator.
Daniels coming off an injury,
Yeah.
that's even worse.
Yeah.
And then Dan Quinn's probably on the hot seat right now.
Well, yeah. So, and new coordinator and new QB coach, because their QB coach last year, Tavita Pritchard, is now the head coach at Stanford, and they got rid of Cliff Kingsbury and elevated David Blau. So, how does that work? We'll see. Bobby Wagner's no longer there, so it's a new middle linebacker and Sonny Styles, so rookie middle linebacker. The only rookie middle linebacker I've ever seen to come in and just like take over the game was Luke Kuechly. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of rookie middle linebackers to come in right away and be like, "Hey, this is my team."
And it's kind of the same deal with the Eagles. I mean, they got a lot of new stuff, not a
new
coaches.
offensive coordinator Sean Mannion.
And they got rid of AJ Brown.
Malachi Lemon. How are him and Devonta Smith going to operate? Is their offensive line healthy? And big. So speaking of, let's start the segment around the NFC East. Big news out of Philadelphia in a press conference, I think a couple days ago or last week. Lane Johnson basically said he's done after this year. He's done.
He's up there in age.
Yeah, he's like this. I think he said, and I quote, "This is my last year." Oh, I know it's not a Bronco show, but Jahad Barron just had a 97 pick six in the second quarter. Funny enough, Delia, great connection. Jadi, is it Jade?
Jade. Yeah.
Jade Barron, Longhorn, and who's a fan of the Longhorns?
I am.
Caleb. So this is gonna be Lane Johnson's last year. So how are they gonna replace him? Are they gonna be healthy on that offensive line? New offensive coordinator Sean Mannion, who's more of the Shanahan-McVay hybrid. Unlike Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore wasn't that, and neither was Shane Steichman. They weren't those guys. So he's going to get one of those, Shanahan-McVay guys. So how does that scheme work with Jalen Hurts? So we'll see about that. Malachi Lemon, how is he going to operate? He's been hurt. So, yeah, they have questions as well. Every team in this division has major questions all over the field. The only unit in the NFC East that isn't a major question is the Dallas Cowboys offense. Yeah. That's not a question. They're gonna give you 30 if you don't lock in. They'll give you 30. Giants, new offensive coordinator, new head coach, questions on offense, questions on defense. Washington, Jalen Daniels is hurt, coming back from an injury. Dan Quinn, Dan Quinn tends to, wear out his welcome. No middle linebacker. Who are their wide receivers? No left tackle. Who are their DBs? Who's playing defense on Washington? Philly, new coordinator, new wide receiver. Is the offensive line healthy? Is Jalen Hurts a good quarterback? That's the question.
It depends who you ask.
It depends on who you ask.
You ask the executives and coaches. They put him like at 17. They don't think he's that great.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that because
if you ask the players too, the players don't think he's that great either. Didn't have a very high spot in the top 100.
Yeah. Because his thing, man, I think he's good. He's fine. Because some of the people they're saying he's better than him, I'm like, bro, they've done nothing. What are we doing here? It's like, oh, Trevor Lawrence. He's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam Darnold.
They throw the ball better than him.
Yeah, on some occasion, yeah, I guess.
And most of the time when he's successful is when they take it out of his hands and they're running the ball consistently.
Yeah. But that's kind of what they did with they kind of did that with Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. They started running the ball more with Travis Etienne. That's why Travis got a big contract. A run game helps everybody. The only person I've seen without a good run game
Patrick
and be
Mahomes.
Successful, literally has had zero run games his entire career.
Running backs. Yeah.
Zero run game his entire career. Lamar Jackson is a part of the running game with those great running backs in Baltimore. Josh Allen has James Cook. You know what I mean?
And he didn't really have one.
Who?
Josh Allen. What running back before James Cook did he have?
Oh, yeah, you're right. He had that. He
didn't really have one.
Yeah.
He kind of was a running game.
Yeah. Wait. No, I'm pretty sure. Didn't he?
No, he did not have a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But okay, Kev, I want to end this off. Last news and note. You know, he had Gore. Old Frank Gore. Though.
Old.
Yeah. He probably, funny enough, old
That's what
Frank
I'm saying. He was the running game because
he was the running game. Yeah.
Would take off a lot.
That's true. Okay, let's end it off with news around the NFC East. We talked about Jalen Hurts, our counterparts, but other quarterback. This is more of a college story than an NFL story, but I want to talk about it. So, here's the story, Caleb. Jaden Daniels, the starting quarterback of the Washington Commanders, former starting quarterback for the LSU Tigers by way of also the Arizona State Sun Devils. He transferred to LSU. Has sent a cease and desist to LSU after they gave his number 5 to sophomore cornerback DJ Pickett. An attorney representing him said they can no longer use his name, image, and likeness, according to the letter to the LSU athletic director, Verge Asbury. At the center of the dispute, according to the statement, is the Tigers allowed sophomore cornerback DJ Pickett to wear number 5 that Daniels wore when he was LSU's 3rd Heisman Trophy winner in 2023. It's not retired. He just didn't want to be given out. The statement says the Daniels family is deeply disappointed and feels profoundly disrespected by LSU's decision to give Jaden's number to another player. The statement from Daniels' spokesman. Jaden and his family have every reason to believe that his number would remain a meaningful part of his LSU legacy and would be honored and protected in recognition of his extraordinary contributions to the university. Pickett wore 3 his freshman year, where he became freshman All-American. 3 interceptions, 37 tackles, and 1 sack, and 524 defensive snaps. Lane Kiffin says Jaden made it very clear that he did not want his number given to another player, and he believed his wishes would be respected. His Heisman Trophy winning season is everything he accomplished on and off the field, cemented his place in LSU history. To see his number given to another player is incredibly disappointing. It feels like a failure to honor the significance of what Jaden accomplished at LSU. Lane Kiffin allowed the jersey swap. Then Mark Schlabach brings up Joe Burrow. The 9 jersey that Cincinnati quarterback Joe Burrow used at LSU hasn't been worn since 2019. They haven't given it out yet. The LSU athletic department spokesman declined to comment. Kiffin told reporters that Pickett had been promised he could wear the number 5 when he signed with the Tigers in December 2024. Pickett wore the number as a high school player in Zephyr Hills, Florida, where he was the number 2 corner in the class of 2025 by ESPN rankings. DJ is in number 5. That was a situation that was promised to him in recruiting here for him to sign here. Kiffin said, I've done a lot of research on that with the family and their representatives and the players. So really, I don't have a decision to make. It was promised to the kid. It wasn't done for whatever reason. I'm not going to get into it. So you know what this means, right, Caleb?
What does it mean?
Brian Kelly, is his fault. This is Brian Kelly's fault. He probably told Jaden Daniels this thing, and then promised this freshman in recruiting this thing.
Well, it's not like he's the first guy to lie in the recruiting.
Exactly. So it's his fault. That's what I keep telling you. I was not going to judge something that was done when I wasn't here. When the kid was promised something to come to a school, he should wear it. So at that point, I don't think that's really my decision. We should honor what he was told. That's what Lane Kiffin said. Funny enough, Lane Kiffin is right in this case, which is funny because Lane Kiffin is rarely ever right in some of these big moments. Yeah, so Brian Kelly told ESPN on Wednesday he believed number 5 was promised to Pickett during his recruitment. So who promised him the number? Was it you? Was it one of your recruiters? Who promised him the number? But Kelly chose not to issue it to him because Daniels was not on board with Pickett wearing his number. So someone promised this kid the number. A recruiter, Brian Kelly, somebody. This being the number two corner in the nation, the head coach was involved in the recruiting. You know what I mean? But then Brian Kelly was like, nah, I'm not giving you the number. Jaden's not on board. So Brian Kelly gives him 3. You know? So there's another quote where he basically says, according to the letter, LSU must immediately cease and desist any further issue displaying a publication or distribution or promotion, commercialization, or other exploitation of Mr. Daniels in the NIL manner. There's a statement here where he says, I'm being treated different than what Joe Burrow was treated, which is where he messed up. That's where he messed up. Because people are not going to care about the context of Jaden Daniels' Heisman Trophy season. He went 9-3. He was literally a one-man offense for LSU. It was him, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Thomas Jr. Those were the guys. It was a 3-headed monster. Jaden Daniels would throw for 300 and rush for 200. I've seen it. I saw him do that in the game. His defense was the worst defense, bar none, that year. LSU was horrible. They were Caleb. Jaden Daniels scored 50 points in a game, and he still lost because the LSU defense gave up 55 points to Jackson Dart. I just want to point that out. Shout out to you, Jackson Dart. So I understand. So his significant, that was a Heisman winning season for him. And I fully understand. But the LSU fans are like, yeah.
The greatest season ever.
There it is. That's the thing.
In the history of college football.
Right there. The man had over 6,000 passing yards and 60 touchdowns. Because I've been seeing a lot of Jaden Daniels defenders who say, oh, here's the regular season stats between Joe and Jaden. Jaden has better regular season stats.
That's great.
No, that's great. That's great.
He won the Heisman. Fantastic. You're purposely excluded the SEC championship game, the playoff game, and the national championship game. The most significant games in all of college football.
Yes. So I can't get with this, dog. Because here's the thing, dog. No offense to Jaden Daniels, but if Tim Tebow's 15 at Florida was given to Graham Mertz, and nobody complained, not even Tebow complained, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
Which, I mean, some guys just have like an attachment to their number. Some guys just
DJ
means
Pickett.
a lot to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other guys are just like, who cares? I mean, yeah. But I like what the Cowboys do with their 88. It's a legacy thing, you know.
Shout out to Drew
where
Pearson.
it's an honor to where to give you that number, or like what Penn State does with number 11. You know, for the linebackers, it's a legacy thing. You know.
Well, speaking of that, first ever number 11 was LeVar Arrington. And at one point, they stopped consulting him on who should get number 11, and it pissed him off.
It did.
Because it pissed him off. Then he's back, doing it. But now the new number 11 at LSU is at Penn State. It's pretty funny. It's LeVar Arrington Jr. It's his son. So it's kind of come full circle. But LeVar wants to be involved, because yo, man, I was the first. I want to be a part of it. Let's consult it. But here's the thing I like about the Dallas Cowboys, Caleb, is they don't just give you 88. They'd say, "Are you?" And here's the two about Irving's 88 legacy. I like how Michael Irvin's like, "Yeah, it's my number." It's like, really, it kind of isn't, because you weren't the first one. You know what I mean? Let's not act like Drew Pearson's like some nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's not act like Drew Pearson is some scrub. You're talking about 2-time Super Bowl champion. One of the best Hail Mary.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. He waited too long. Because he's a Dallas Cowboy. I hate them, but let's not act like Drew Pearson wasn't the best receiver. Or second best receiver in the 70s in the NFL. And I like what Michael Irvin said. He was being interviewed on Jimmy Kimmel, and he said this. If my number is retired, the only time they'll ever go back up there is, oh, look, Michael Irvin is now in the pearly gates. Look at Michael. And then they go back to the game. But if someone's wearing 88, two things happen. CeeDee Lamb drops a ball, has a bad game. Michael Irvin ain't never going to do that.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb has a great game. That boy looked like Michael Irvin.
Yeah, that's what happened with DeMarcus Ware. When DeMarcus Ware was wearing the 94, you're reminded of Charles Haley.
Yes.
And then so on. That's another legacy number with 94.
Is there any other 94s?
There was another good pass rusher that wore 94 after.
Yeah. I'm with Michael Irvin's. Because here's the thing about LSU, Caleb. They have numbers that they pass down to players.
Yeah.
There's a number the best player on LSU's team wears a specific number. It's 7.
Yeah,
and I 7.
I like that better than retiring them.
Yeah.
And also just for the simple fact that there's only 100 numbers.
99.
Well, you wear 0.
Oh, 0. Yeah, 100 numbers. Yeah.
There's only 100 numbers, and there's 100 players on the team. So if you retire some of them,
Giants ran into this. No, because the Giants ran into this during Malik Nabers' rookie year. They had no numbers. They had to ask Ray Flaherty's family, "Can we please unretire your number?" You know what I mean? Yes, here's the thing about Joe Theismann too, man. No offense to Dwayne Haskins, right? God rest his soul. He wore number 7 with the Washington Commanders. He didn't have a very good career in Washington. You shipped out his. So it's not his number 7. It's Joe Theismann's number 7. Because it's Joe Theismann, man. Let's talk about Joe Theismann. Yeah, so LSU with the number 7. Leonard Fournette wore it. Tyrann Mathieu wore it. Patrick Peterson wore it. I think Mo Claiborne probably wore it. I don't know for a fact. Some other defensive linemen have worn it because they're the best player, on the team. So I like that. You have a legacy of 7s. What's Ohio State with the number? I've never heard about Ohio State with number 7. What's that about? You need to explain that to me, Kwame. But you kind of, create a legacy, right? Oregon, Caleb. Let Dylan Gabriel wear number 8. Dylan Gabriel, who sucks, wore number 8. If I see the number 8 on an Oregon jersey and it doesn't say Mariota, that's disgusting. But they allowed it to happen. And Marcus had no problem with it. And no offense to Jaden Daniels. But Marcus Mariota, what he did for Oregon in that football program was other Ted Ginn Jr., Chris Gamble, Joey Galloway, Dwayne Haskins. Okay, all right, cool, all right. I got you. Yeah, just as disappointing. What did you think was going to happen, bro? Do you think they were gonna side with you over their alma mater?
And
over their university?
I also want to ask the question, how are they using Zane's image and likeness?
So they had a deal, right, that they could use him in photos and promotions and stuff that like promotional stuff. The occasional sign, autographs and stuff like that. Their deal was after he graduated, it would be 180 days after it expires.
Okay, they'll just use Joe Burrow then.
Well, it depends on if Joe Burrow allows them. We don't know if Joe allows them. We don't, because we don't know. What if Joe's like no? Because like the deal expired. But what this letter means that apparently the Daniels family extended the deal because it's been over 180 days. So I'm pretty sure the Daniels family extended that deal with them. So now they're like, you can't use us anymore. I'm sorry, bro, but like, you're not on the same level as Joe. You're not even on the same level as Tim Tebow. All right? So those two guys' numbers, here's the thing too, Caleb. Some schools do it a little different. Auburn, the number 2 at Auburn. Justin can, agree with me or disagree with me because he's an Auburn. He's an Auburn fan. The number 2 at Auburn is sacred now. 34-2. 2 is by Cam Newton, possibly before Joe Burrow, the greatest single season ever by a player, Cam Newton season. And I prefer his over Joe because with him, he had no help. Literally none of his offensive players made it to the NFL. The other player to make it to the NFL was Nick Fairley. That was it. Joe Burrow had Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Lloyd Cushenberry III. They had some good defensive players.
There was
Grant
no
Delp.
playoff back then, was there?
What?
During Cam Newton was
No, it was the BCS. It was them versus Oregon.
So he had to play more games.
Yeah. Joe also had to play more games. He played more games, so he played more games and he had more stats because he played 2 more games. Well, 1 more game. Because, they're retiring number 2 at Auburn. Because here's the funny thing is, his name is Deuce Knight. He was like a top 2 quarterback in the nation. Said he wants to wear 2 because his name is Deuce and it honors him. They asked Cam Newton. Cam Newton said, hell no. And Auburn said no. That's how Auburn did it. We asked Cam. He said hell no, so pick a new number. And then they retired Cam Newton's number afterwards. And Deuce Knight transferred. So Deuce Knight's number 2 somewhere else. I don't know where he is. He didn't pan out. So different schools operate different ways. But if someone promised this to Jaden, here's the thing. Here's the one thing in Jaden Daniels' benefit. If someone promised him that, like there was an agreement with LSU, the coaching staff, the athletic department.
He's not there no more, so.
No, but if they had an agreement, and they then go back on their agreement, I can see Jaden's point. But why would a school enter an agreement like that? I don't think they would. But that's just me. So overall, I think Jaden's wrong, but that's just one little saving grace. But I think we've gone a little over, We have 18 minutes. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful time, guys. Make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Share the link. We appreciate everybody. Super chats are enabled. Come back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. 3 o'clock. Wait.
Are you doing the game?
Yeah, I will be doing play-by-play for Minnesota Vikings, New York Giants. They're in preseason.
Post game?
Probably not. I have work afterwards. Sorry. I apologize. Sorry, Caleb. We'll do Sunday. We'll do one Sunday.
Okay.
So like Sunday morning or something like that. We'll do it. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for doing this. Caleb, where can people find you, my guy?
You can find me NFL Caleb 22 on Instagram and Twitter/X, and you can find me on this channel. Apparently on Sunday.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, without further ado, my name is Ferris Malone. You can find me tomorrow, guys, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern. New York Giants, Minnesota Vikings preseason. I'm gonna do my preseason play-by-play, so be on the lookout for that. We appreciate you. I'll be trying to do play-by-play for most of the games. There's probably one game I can't do, which is probably week 2 against the Rams, because that's on Monday night, and that's when my bona fide shift is, so I probably won't be able to do it. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. And also, guys, in the coming year, we were consolidating stuff. We had a Patreon, we had a Ko-Fi, we had all that other stuff. We're now consolidating it where it's on our website. Go to lgrn.online where you can sign up right off the bat from our website. It's 2 tiers, 3 and 7. That's it. 7 gets you everything. 3 is just money you want to throw support our way to keep our lights open. We appreciate you guys so much. Stay safe, stay calm, and we'll see you guys next week or tomorrow and Sunday.